Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video series, we're going to be playing through one of my all-time favorite Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy IV. So let's get it started here. So this is the Pixel Remaster version that was released in 2023 by Square Enix. The original Final Fantasy IV was a 16-bit game on the Super Nintendo that was released in 1991. So Square Enix went ahead in 2023 and remastered all of the original Nintendo and Super Nintendo Final Fantasy games that were released in both Japan and the United States. So Final Fantasy IV, as it's known in Japan, was known as Final Fantasy II in the United States, which was released on the Super Nintendo. And like I said, this was one of my favorite games when I was a kid. It has an awesome storyline, and it's just so much fun. So, let's get it started here. We're going to press any button to start. This is being played on a Nintendo Switch, and this is the Pixel Remaster version. So, the Pixel Remaster is the same exact game, storyline, plot, action scenario that existed on Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy II, when it was released on the Super Nintendo back in the 1990s. Square Enix just went ahead and made some modifications to the game in terms of graphics, music, audio quality, stuff like that, to make the game more compatible with a modern generation of gamers and video game systems. So this game, originally based on a 16-bit game, is now playable on modern consoles such as the PC and the Nintendo Switch. So I'm playing this on a Nintendo Switch. So we'll go ahead here and start up a new game. Final Fantasy IV, you also hear it referred to it as Final Fantasy II, starts out with the main character Cecil, who is a member of the Red Wings, a group fighting to protect the country of Baron. The king has sent him out to collect crystals all around the world. There is Cecil, the Dark Knight. So it seems that we killed innocent people to acquire a crystal. This looks like a flashback. And if you're familiar with the Final Fantasy series, most of them center around crystals. The original games, Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy II or 4. So Cecil is upset over what he's done, but he's in denial that the king would send him to do something like this if it wasn't for a valid reason. Monsters incoming. Another fight. So the Pixel Remaster did do things, in my opinion, to make the game a little easier. They have the auto battle stuff, which you can turn on and off, and they have a map of the places you're in, or the world when you're walking around, which I will turn off because I like to stay true to the original. So the Red Wings have returned to Baron. So as you can see, if you played the original, you can see here the quality has been increased considerably. So we're being escorted to the king. Bagan is a member of the King's Guard. So it seems that the king and Bagan no longer trust Cecil. Cecil is being called in. He handed over the water crystal to Bagan. Cecil has been relieved of his command of the Red Wings. The king is acting very suspicious. But here is Kane, the Dragoon of Baron. Received bomb ring. In the original game, you receive a package to take to the village of Mist. So tomorrow we will be leaving for the village. The king has instructed us to take a package there. So here is all of the commands that are associated to the keys. We're going to cut here and close this. So here is Castle Baron. So what you want to do here is go up the leftmost staircase, then come down here. And as we walk out here, we run into a familiar face. Rosa, she's our love interest slash girlfriend. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that map off that you see partial under me there, because I don't use those. So there's Sid. Everybody's familiar with Sid if you're a friend, lover of Final Fantasy. He's been in so many different Final Fantasy games in one way, shape, or form. Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII. So he's been suspicious of the king as well, but keeping it quiet. So let's go ahead up into the tower here. So we're going to go ahead and rest for the night. Yep. Here's Rosa coming in for a nightcap. So Rosa is suspicious of the king's motives as well. Kain and Cecil will be leaving for Mist in the morning, and Rosa is very upset. So Cecil feels that because he's a Dark Knight, him and Rosa can never be together. So we'll have to see how that plays into the storyline. It's morning. We are setting off from Baron Castle. Cecil the Dark Knight and Kain the Dragoon. You'll notice the two different spellings of Mist throughout the game. Sometimes it's spelled M-Y-S-T, other times it's spelled M-I-S-T. What is the King of Baron up to? I'm sure we'll find out at some point. King of Baron must have a motive for wanting to collect all the crystals. Alright, so here we are on the world map in Final Fantasy IV. So, we're going to go ahead here and turn off that map. We have to do that periodically throughout the game here. So here is the menu in Final Fantasy IV. The things I like to do is I like to change the order and make Cecil the head of the party. And I can switch the positions so you can have them back or forward and they alternate. So if you're back, it'll go all 5 characters eventually. We'll go back, forward, back, forward, back, or forward, back, forward, back, forward. So I'm going to make Cecil forward and Kain back. That's how I like to do it. And we're going to go ahead here and save our game right here. So items, we have none. Key items are none. So now we are ready to head towards the village of Mist. So what we want to do for that is start to head up to the northeast. Now I'll show you how to get into a fight here. Just walk around. You'll come across any kind of random enemies. These are floating eyeballs. Kain's jump feature is one of the best attacks in the game, and it will be with you for the entire game when he is in your party. Always recommend using it. It'll minimize the amount of damage to him if magic is attacked, or he is attacked directly, because he will be off the field for a period while he jumps. So as you can see, he's gone. He'll land at a random interval. There it is. And it causes a great amount of damage. Alright, so let's head up to the village of Mist. So to do that, you want to follow through this mountain range. Here. Just fighting your way. So you can run from fights by holding L and R to run. I am not a fan of running from any fights. If you follow any of my other Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest videos, you'll see I very rarely run from fights. Why is that? Because of the experience. So here is the the cave to Mist. So we're going to go ahead here and save again. We are ready to enter the cave to Mist. Super important. Save often. Now, you can't save when you're in a place that's not the world map. So keep that in mind until you come across a save point, which we will. Always be on the lookout for treasures. When it comes to fighting, go for what you feel to be the bigger guys first. So in this case, I'm going to assume that the sword rat is stronger than the goblins, just because he looks it. Now, is that necessarily accurate? Not necessarily. So I actually don't, the order I actually have is wrong. It's backwards. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Take out this goblin. There we go. I just realized that my order is wrong. So, order should be Cecil in the front. It's confusing because the arrows are makes you think, but different in the Pixel Remaster. Alright, so let's keep navigating through here. Like I said, you want to fight as often as possible in this game because you're going to gain experience super quick. You'll find that if you run a lot, you're not going to get up the levels necessary to progress further in the game, so that when you do get to a further point in the game and come across a boss fight, it might be unnecessarily hard. We're being warned to turn back. And always want to collect every treasure chest that we see, because they will contain useful items, weapons, armor. Preemptive strike, which means we attack first. And their defenses, the guard will be down. What's great about this Final Fantasy compared to the previous Final Fantasy, was the auto attacking. So in the original Final Fantasy, if you attacked a bad guy and with say 2 people and that bad guy died on the first hit, the second person would still try to attack the bad guy that wasn't there. So they fixed that with Final Fantasy 4-2 and have it so that it auto knows to attack someone else. Take out that butterfly. This first cave is pretty easy because they're, kind of teaching you the concepts of navigating through a cave and fighting. Let's go ahead and see if we can end this fight here. Do a jump. Have Cecil target the back guy. There we go. Contained a tent. Tents are great for healing. You can use them only at save points. So let's see if there is... beat these goblins here. Then we'll continue up to the top to see if there's any more treasures up there. One of the great things I like about playing these Pixel Remasters is I actually forget some of the ways to take from when I played the original Final Fantasy IV. eye drops, so if we get hit with darkness. So playing this game is like playing the original over again, just a modernized way. It's funny, I was, as I was making this video here and playing this game, I was trying to decide where to put myself, because it's hard to place it. If I put myself in the bottom left, I blocked the attack jump magic menu when it would come up. If I put it in the top right, I blocked the map, as you can see. So, but if I put it in the top left, I blocked some of the text and character interactions, dialogue, and some of the enemies that are larger. If I put it in the bottom right, I eventually will block the charge bar that occurs, or the hit points. So I settled for the top right because I don't care about the map, and I'll show you the way to go anyway. And then I was going to do, with the background all disappeared, but then that looked just weird. So I settled on this way. Leave at once. We're being warned. Knights of Baron. I choose to ignore your warnings. Here comes the fight. The mist is gathering. So this is our first boss fight in Final Fantasy IV, the Mist Dragon. So we have some potions we can use if and when we need them. So when the dragon turns into mist, if you use Kane's jump, you can dispel the mist and it'll come back to its physical form. I guess we have to, okay, maybe not. So we have to wait. So we don't want to do that again. So we'll use a potion here on Kane. So I correct what I said. Don't attack the mist. Usually when Kane jumps, it can dispel some things or cause them to change form. That's not the case with this. But now it's back. See the amount of damage that Kane's jump does there. Pretty impressive. Alright, so now we have to wait. Alright, returning to its dragon form. So we can attack now. Nice hit. And the Mist Dragon should be falling shortly here. Again, the purpose of this boss fight is just to demonstrate different tactics and what you have to do in an active battle like this. Active battle means the boss will attack, the enemies will attack, even if you don't do anything. So if you just let it sit there, the enemies will still attack periodically. So you need to keep that in mind. If you ever have to get up and walk away, make sure you pause. Alright, so we can attack again. And there we go. We have defeated the Mist Dragon in Final Fantasy IV. So we have gotten through the Mist Cave, and now we are at the village of Mist. Mist. Looks like a nice little humble village. The ring is glowing. So we killed this girl's mom's dragon. The mother transformed, called a dragon. When we killed it, it inadvertently killed her mother. This girl is a summoner. So we're basically going to ignore the king and not kill this poor innocent girl. She's just a child. So we'll attack the girl here. Whoa. She's a strong one. She's a summoner, like her mom. Kane and I got separated. So now we are on the other side of the mountain range, cut off from the village of Mist. We have the girl in our possession party, but she is unconscious. So here is a desert. What you want to do is come into the center of the desert, take out these desert Sahagins. It's funny, I try not to call out the monsters that were in previous games, because when I say previous games, the previous game to Final Fantasy IV was Final Fantasy III in Japan. The previous game to Final Fantasy II in the US was Final Fantasy on Nintendo, so it gets very confusing. So I try not to do that. We're in Kaipo here. And we'll put the girl in the bed to rest. So Cecil feels obligated to protect her because we, unbeknownst to us, killed her mother's dragon, which in turn killed her. Uh-oh. We've been found. So we're going to have to fight off and kill these soldiers to protect the innocent girl. So the trick to this is we want to take out the soldiers first. And the general runs off in disgrace. So Baron knows, the country of Baron and the king of Baron basically know what we did at this point. Summoner Rydia has joined the party. Alright. All set. So if we go now and look, you can see Rydia has joined our party. And if we view her status, she's a little on the weak side because she is only a child. Strength is very low compared to ours. So we'll have to make sure we do our best to keep her alive and well. Let's go ahead here and check out the weapon shop while we're here. So she can be equipped with the staff. We'll go ahead and buy that staff. Nothing for Cecil. He can only be equipped with dark weapons. Rydia. So let's go ahead and equip the staff, which takes her from 3 to 4, which is, hey, I'll take it. Alright, let's go visit the armor shop now. So leather cap she already has, clothes will lower, leather garb she already has, iron armlet she already has, so there's no armor we can buy here. And if we talk to some random people, the water cave, we learn about different things here. Moving her to the back row, which she already is. The castle up north is Demycen Castle, which rules over this entire desert. The Prince of Demycen is a delicate beauty with an exquisite voice. So if you basically, in Final Fantasy 4, if you talk to... Sure. If you talk to non-playable characters, they basically will give you guidance on where to go. So that's super important. If you're ever confused, talk to the people in the town or the area that you're in. You'll get some guidance. So we're going to go ahead here and head up to Demycen Castle. They said it was in the north. It's probably that way. So basically Rydia doesn't do a whole lot at this point yet. She can summon a little bit. She can summon Chocobo, which we won't use yet. We'll take this guy out with just basic attacks here. Oh, that was strong. That was very strong, actually. There we go, we defeated that guy here, so I'm going to go ahead and use a potion. take these guys out here. So we've gone ahead and taken out those guys. Okay, so we are ready to enter the cave. Let's go ahead here and just check items because I took a little bit of a hit there. I don't want to use my 10. Alright, I can use my high potion. So we do have to get Rydia back to life. But, there is a way. I'll show you. Maiden's Kiss. Nice preemptive strike. So the one thing you want to watch out for is poisoned. Being poisoned. Doesn't look like these guys can do that. As you can see, they are relatively weak. So the fact, if Rydia dies at this point in the game, that's okay. Don't worry so much about that. She's honestly more of a hindrance at this point in the game, but she does become one of the more powerful members of your party later on because of her knowledge of black magic and summoning. So continuing on here. Killer fish. So as you can see, the bad guys in this part of the game don't do much damage overall, with the exception of that one desert one that we ran into that cast Earthquake and killed Rydia. But we'll just pretend we didn't have that happen. Now I wish she was alive here, because she'd be gaining the experience. But it's alright. We're going to run into somebody who can help us here soon. Another potion. Chest contained a tent. What do you think you're doing here? This cave is swarming with monsters. Alright. So I guess we have to go back to Kaipo. Probably something to do there that we missed. Booked it out. So let's head back to Kaipo. As per the old man's instructions. Goblins. So back attack is reversed. They attack first. Similar to a preemptive attack. Goblins are pretty easy to take out here. And the more fighting I do, the more experience I'm going to get. Which in turn is going to make my guys all that much stronger. You'll find, like I said, that if you stick to the fighting every battle and don't run, it will make the game that much easier. So we are back at Kaipo. First thing we're going to do, stay at the inn here and fix our fallen comrade here. Yes. Good night. All set. Alright, let's explore around. Tellah is the guy we ran into in the cave. Let's buy a Phoenix down or two. Tent we already have. That should be helpful. There's the old man in the cave. That's Rosa. To cure desert fever, you need a rare jewel called the Sand Ruby, found only in a cave where the Antlion dwells. Alright. Well, we learned that Rosa is sick and inside of this village, Kaipo. So the next thing we need to do is help her out. Okay, so let's go back to that cave now. This dude again. This time we are prepared if he casts Earthquake, but the Chocobo should be able to take care of him in one hit. Yes. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead here and go back into this cave. Back the way we came. And Tellah, the old man here, should now let us pass. I want to get Rydia up a level or two. If I remember correctly, she learns some white and black magic, which is a little bit helpful. Pod the first level up, so we'll see. Got two of these fish. There we go. Rydia learned sight. Alright, let's see if the old man lets us pass. Sage Tellah has joined the party. Awesome. So the funny part about Tellah, he has better stats than our Dark Knight. So front, back, front. Good. Okay. See if there's any other treasures in here before we... So when using magic, if you hit the left, it will target everyone on the field. But doing that weakens the amount of damage it does across the board. So you have to take that into consideration. Make sure we keep Rydia alive here. We'll do fire again. Tellah's got lots of magic, which is great. We just gotta take out this guy, water bug here. Ah, he ran. Rydia learned thunder. Excellent. So the benefit of it being this early on in the game is Rydia learns spells fairly quickly, but the problem is she has very low hit points still and magic power. So Tellah's thunder. Most of these guys, because they're water based, are weak against thunder. Climb up here, get this treasure chest. Iron armlet. Can't cross through there. Nice. Take these guys out. See if there's anything else we can pick up in here. Underground chamber. Dry ether, nice. X potion, full heal. Phoenix down, awesome. So very important, this chamber here has a lot of good stuff in it. So make sure you come this way. And now we can head back. Save the dry ether and X potion for as long as you can, because they are super good. This guy's probably gonna run. Let's see if we can take him out. Nah, yeah. Water bugs always run. Just ignore them for the most part. Rydia learned hold. Excellent. Alright. So we are now ready to continue on. Nice preemptive strike. So let's do thunder across the board. There we go. Oops. Going up here. Underground Waterway, Basement 2. We'll go up north first, see if there's anything up here. Super good to cast magic, especially when you know they're weak against a certain thing. It's better to consume a little bit of magic than lose a lot of hit points fighting guys over and having to fight a couple repeated rounds. So, we came all this way for a treasure chest. Let's see what it is. Ambushed. Ambush means the guys attack first. We have to wait till all of them monsters on the field attack before we can take our turn. That's right, Rydia has no... We'll get Tellah in on the play here. Later on in the game, you'll learn Thunder 2, stuff like that. It gets a lot stronger. Rydia learns Sleep. Sleep is a very good spell in pretty much any game. Alright, so we came all this way for that. Toads obviously are not weak against lightning, thunder, so we'll just target them with attacks here. Alright. Obtained ether. Super good. Killer fish. Tellah, I love Tellah. He's like super strong dude. Alright, moving on here. Continuing our adventure. So we've come across our first save point. Tellah has a tent. So we're learning about Tellah's daughter, Anna. We need to get to Demacian, but we have to take care of this monster blocking our path. All set. So, when you're at this one of these save points, always save. Definite, very important. Alright, continuing on here. This water bug will run. There it goes. Try to level up. Let's pick up Ice Rod. Alright, so let's see. So Rydia can be equipped with the Ice Rod. Now, you want to be careful when you equip people with certain things. Sometimes that can have a negative impact on their attack abilities, depending on what you're fighting. So keep that in mind. You can change your weapons accordingly. If you're fighting a guy who you know is weak against fire, use something with, you know, fire. If you know a guy's weak against ice, equip an ice rod. Or throw it, when you'll learn that later in the game. When we meet Edge, the ninja. We'll go this way, explore what's down here. So as you get deeper into the cave, you'll find that the enemies tend to get a little bit harder. Deeper into, I shouldn't say cave, whether it's a tower, dungeon, cave, whatever. A typical rule applies. Alright, so we gotta figure out what these guys are weak against. So red, if they're red, I'm gonna say they might be weak against ice. Obviously not weak against attacks. So let's try Blizzard. Fire. We tried Thunder, Blizzard, so we'll try Fire. There we go. They're always weak against something. $580 gil. Nice. Bomb fragment. Nice. Zombies. So zombies are weak against Cure. I'll show you that here. Doesn't do much because Rydia is weak, but they are weak against Cure. Any undead, cure them. It'll actually hurt them. Let's try Thunder. There we go. So super important, always remember that. Zombies, weak against Cure. Undead are weak against anything that can heal them. Gigatoad again. Gigantoad. We'll just attack these guys. Alright, I got transformed into a toad. That should clear, it did not clear itself. Alright, so if you use a Maiden's Kiss, we'll cure an ally of toad status. Chest contain potion. Nice. Underground Waterway, north entrance. So we are getting to where black magic. We'll try darkness. And let's have Rydia summon something against a tiny mage. Black mages like to steal it. Tiny mages like to steal your magic. Nice hits there. Darkness is a good thing to use against a group of people, but it is relatively weak. Took out one tiny mage. Alright, so Thunder didn't work so well on the Sahagins. So let's try Fire. There we go, took out those guys. Rydia learned poison. Good spell to know. So let's use some potions here. Hourglass, which is slow. Shadow Blade. I'm sorry, attack from 17 to 27. Alright, let's head down here. Can I? I cannot. Okay. Zombies ambushed us. White magic. Let's do Cura. So, Cecil's can't really hurt zombies because he's darkness just as they are. But Cura works like a champ. Super important. Keep that in mind. This way leads outside. The monster lies in the cave beyond. Use a tent outside if you must. So, super important here. Let's go outside and use a tent. Alright, and let's save. Here is the next cave. This is where we have to fight the monster. He's down there. And we're back inside the cave. We jumped down the waterfall. So as you can see, harder enemies. Cecil's attack power is way up now. Nice, took out that alligator. The water bugs should retreat. Nice, got one. Cecil's starting to be able to one-hit guys with that upgraded weapon, the Shadow Blade. Tellah and Rosa, Rydia, not so much. Hades helm. It's a weapon for Cecil, or armor for Cecil. Let's do summon Chocobo, Black Magic, Fire. Chocobo Kick. Alligators pack a pretty good punch, so you want to take out them as quick as you can. Hades gloves. Alright, so let's equip. Hades gloves takes our defense up. Hades helm takes our defense up. Nice. Alright. Move on in our journey here. Subterranean Lake, Basement 1. Pack a pretty good punch. To weaker guys like Tellah and I got to tip with Toad. Alright, you know what? When something like this happens, run. I have to use our Maiden's Kiss. I know I have a couple. I only got 2. Rydia, Tellah. Magic, Tellah. Asuna, we'll take care of that. Alright, we got some upgrades. More upgrades for Cecil. Equip Hades armor. So what else did I get here? Can I get Hades shoes? Hermes shoes. Okay, that's something else. That's an item. Okay. Cool. So moving on, here is the boss fight. So let's go ahead and do some healing here. And we are ready to fight the boss. So again, before you... we're just going to run from this fight. Not even wasting my time. So, before you fight the boss, make sure you are healed up. We are, so we are ready to fight. Here we go. There he is. Watch out. Octomammoth. So he packs a pretty good punch. Let's see, they should be weak against thunder. Yep. So it'll reconfigure as it gets hurt. Secure Tellah. Thunder. So I'm going to use Rydia mainly for curing, Tellah for offensive, and Cecil obviously to just attack. We'll summon a Chocobo. Thunder, we're doing alright here. Cecil with that Hades sword packs quite a hit. Add him into darkness. Do a summon here. He's getting weaker as we are working him down. The guy's got pretty good magic defense. But there we go. We beat Octomammoth. Final Fantasy IV. Demacian is beyond this waterfall. Alright. So we have navigated through the cave and we are ready to visit Demacian Castle. This is it for part 1 of our playthrough of Final Fantasy IV. As always, please click that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have more videos from Final Fantasy IV coming soon. If anyone has any questions or comments or needs help with this amazing game, please drop a comment down below and I will do my best to help you out. I will see everyone around. Stay tuned for part 2. Keep on gaming.